I want to take a few moments and talk briefly about Sony's announcement of the A6300. This is the newest camera from Sony and its successor to the very popular A6000. I'm going to run down through the spec list and then share some thoughts about what this camera has or doesn't have, whether or not it might be a good upgrade for you or a great travel camera, as many people are calling it. First up, we have a 24 megapixel sensor in here. Now this is the same as the A6000, but it is a completely redesigned sensor. So same megapixel level, but all copper wiring now, which is supposed to give it much better efficiency. I do expect low light performance from this sensor to be excellent and quite close to probably class leading in the crop sensor format. 425 point on sensor phase detection system. This is a huge number of autofocus points and it provides excellent coverage all the way out to the frame. 11 frames per second in continuous shooting. Again, that was the same as the A6000. It's a very fast, but the A6000, sure, you could fire off 11 frames per second, but it wouldn't do focus tracking or good focus tracking during that. The A6300 looks to improve on that, so we should see much better results for people who are trying to photograph sports, other fast action. We now have a silent shooting mode, similar to the full-frame Sony A7 series. Max ISO is up to 51,200, and as I said, I expect the sensor to be very good. The big line that I think Sony's really going to push with this camera is 4K. And it is a good 4K with no additional cropping like we just talked about and saw in the Nikon D500. Now, to be fair, that's not the D500's strengths, but this A6000 really does look like it's going to be an excellent all-around photo and video device. 4K video capture up to 100 megabytes a second. You even have slow-mo 120 frames at full HD, which is really impressive at this price point. You don't see that in anything else that I can think of off the top of my head. And it's all wrapped up in a slightly sturdier magnesium alloy construction and slightly more weather sealing than its predecessor, the A6000. It's always a little funny to talk about weather sealing, what that exactly means. There aren't any real standards until you start to talk about waterproofing, weather sealing, but so, it is an improvement over the A6000. How much of an improvement? We don't know exactly until someone does a careful teardown and shares their opinion on that. Form and function of the body, almost identical to the A6000, other than that construction changes. We do now have an AEL switch on the back. Still don't have a joystick for focus point selection, and we don't have touch screen, and we have the same EVF. So that's actually running now into my disappointment list. I really wish they'd put a touch screen on this camera. It would make its operation easier. They haven't. I do wish the EVF would get an upgrade. That's the electronic viewfinder. I was underwhelmed with the A6000. Overall, I really like the A6000. I think it's an excellent travel camera. It's so nice and light, and it takes excellent pictures. And now the A6300, I am sure, is going to take even better pictures and, of course, offer 4K, but you'll still be looking through that same EVF. And we've got no in-body image stabilization. Now, I'm not really disappointed by that. I didn't expect that at this price level or kind of point of camera, but it would be nice, and it would put it on par with their full-frame series like the A7 II or the A7R Mark II. Overall, I expect this camera to sell really well. Why? Two reasons. One, the A6000 was Amazon's top-selling interchangeable lens camera for, I don't know, almost a year, maybe even a little bit more than a year. People upgrade to what they know. We have a lot of A6000 users out there. We're going to be looking at this camera, seeing better low light performance, seeing 4K capabilities, and faster focusing systems, and think that's enough of a reason to upgrade for me. And we're going to have the people that want to move into the system with that phase detection on the sensor. We should have even better autofocus with Canon glass. So if you want to throw a Metabones adapter on there, you can do that, and you should. I haven't seen it personally, I haven't used it personally yet, but should get better results, and that's exciting as well. Now, it is coming in at a little bit more of an expensive price point. You got $998 for just the body only, and it is $1,148 with the kit lens of the 16-50, which is nice that it starts a little bit wider. I am a little underwhelmed by that kit lens as well, but you do have a nice selection of Sony lenses now, especially the full frame ones too, that will work quite nicely on this camera. you're going to lose some of that portability and weight savings when you throw on those bigger lenses, but those are all options as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this camera. You leave comments right down below. One more thing I want to say before you like and subscribe is that we're currently traveling with McKay Photography Academy in New Zealand, and there's a mix of participants on this trip. Some got DSLRs, a few have mirrorless, but I have to say most of the folks with DSLRs are a little jealous of us mirrorless folks because they do offer a much lighter, more travel-friendly camera. And for the type of photography that we're doing on this trip, they work really nicely with very few drawbacks. And the DSLRs, of course, work very nicely as well, but you're lugging around a much bigger system. So take a moment, if this was useful, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.